Hi, everybody. We are live. I have Calen. You can see
Hi, y'all. How's
Hi.
everybody doing? Hope well. Yeah,
So,
whatever.
Calen, introduce yourself. Introduce yourself.
Um, my name's Calen Whidden. I was first on Patty's show, explaining kind of the what entails prison life, specifically at Columbia Correctional Institution here in Upper Florida, in the middle of the state. Um, Yeah, convicted felon. Currently well on my way on the path of reform. Um, College, I'm getting ready to graduate with my AA and continue. And uh, I'm enrolled in a dual degree program, which will allow me to get my BA and my BS as well. So um, that's pretty much been my main focus lately, and has kept me quite out of trouble. So I'm actually I'm very blessed because both of my prison bids, I was facing life sentences, and the judges and the prosecution they were gracious enough to give me a break more than once. So I'm more fortunate than others. The Florida judicial system is not consistent by any means, and their sentencing guidelines are abysmal, um, utterly unfair. So I just happened to be one of the lucky ones. Why that is, I couldn't tell you. I don't know, because I was not any worse than anybody else in any prison camp I've been to. So, and there's guys in there that will die in there. And that's the bottom line. There's no parole down here in Florida. Once you get life, you get life. That's it. So,
Could you explain that? Because that's been one of the questions. They're asking if Charlie Adelson specifically were to come around and help the state with the next case, which is his mother. His mother is now being tried end of September, beginning of October. Her name
really,
is Donna. Yeah.
huh.
He's
Wow.
also a conspirator. Yeah, I know, right? So they're asking if he were to help with state's evidence, would he be able to ever be granted parole or time off?
50-50 chance they could accrue as much information under the guise that he will receive a reduced sentence, and the only way he's going to lock that in is if he has a lawyer and has that documented, signed, sealed, delivered. If he just goes by their word, he's muffed. They'll turn on him in a second and they'll leave him in there to rot. But from what you've explained to me about this cat, he's pretty unsavory. So there's nothing telling me he won't roll on his own mom, because he's such an upstanding guy.
So he has life plus 60 right now.
Life plus 60. Uh, he's not getting out. He can tell them what they want about the mom. They may take the 60 off.
Yeah.
his In Florida, we have. I explained this on the last show. We have the score sheet. Each crime committed has an allotted score of points. These points equate the time that you spend in a penal institution. Um, Once for instance, my first bid it was 88 points. It equated to 4 years. So I did my 4 years. I was on probation for 2, and I early terminated that probation. I had that option, as I do on this probation, to early term halfway through. So I completed it in 1. Yet when I got rearrested 7 years, almost 8 years later, those 88 points, they never go away. So once I was put in the back of the cop car and charged with 12 felonies, one of them an F1, a felony first degree, which was punishable by life, and then 11 others that were all felony 2s besides one felony 3. I knew at least one charge was going to stick, and that meant I'm redoing the 4 years that I've already done on top of whatever new conviction I
What?
accrued the second time.
You're
That's
redoing it?
Yep. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. When you go back to prison, and basically the points that you accrue on your score sheet, on your criminal record down here in Florida, they don't get erased. You do your time, you serve your sentence, you play by the rules, and then if you get in trouble again, those points are there automatically. You will, if it's, say I got say only the F3, the felony 3 stuck, I would be convicted. I'm going to jail. I'm going to prison for those 4 years because I already have 88 points plus the points for the F3. And I couldn't tell you what the F3 got tossed out in the plea deal. Thank goodness. Along with I was only charged with 4 felonies. But I had to eat the arson charge, which was the punishable by life, even though I didn't do it, in order to get the prosecution to agree to the deal for my second stretch, which was a blessing. It was 5 years in, 10 years out on paper, probation, felony probation, with the option to early term in 5 years instead of 10.
I had no idea.
I'm sorry, arson. Yeah,
I didn't know arson would be life.
Yeah, well, it's a life sentence if other people are in the house. If somebody else is in the house and you are charged and convicted with an arson, it's a first degree felony because somebody else is in the house. It kind of equates to an attempted murder. And down here in Florida, they have an entire separate unit that prosecutes arson cases. So not only did my lawyer have to bargain with the state's prosecution, he had to bargain with the state's arson unit prosecution. It was muffed. Yeah, it was. I like
that word. I'm going to use it. Muffed.
Yeah, it's muffed. It's muffed up. I'm trying not to curse very good.
So what is your degree path? What are you taking in school?
Right now, well, AA general studies, just, basic entry level college. And then my Bachelor of Arts will be in communication with a minor in sociology. And then my Bachelor of Science will be in organizational leadership and development for adult learners. This can lead into a number of different careers: consulting, businesses, streamlining, businesses, corporations, organizations, leadership practices, going in, basically being a Tony Robbins of, tattooed veneer and big
Everybody
ears.
wants one.
Yeah.
But it's how you relate. That's why I think everyone on here likes you so much, is you're so relatable.
Well, that's the thing. I'm a natural empath. I could look at somebody. I've always been able to do it too. I can look at somebody and go, "What's wrong?" And something's wrong, and they can try to BS me. Eventually, I beat it out of them. Or I could tell, I could tell if somebody's angry. Recently, my aunt's, my eldest aunt's husband of 37 years passed away. And her response when I asked if she was okay was, "I'm fine." "I'm fine" is a code. I mean, you should print it on shirts. That mean, it means I am definitely not okay whatsoever and not willing to
Especially in
talk about
female.
it.
Female is definitely not fine if they sound fine.
And I'm telling you, you women are a freaking labyrinth, and I am lacking a map.
Are you dating now?
No, ma'am. Nope. Nope. I am. I'm looking, but not finding. So, what are you gonna do?
Keep looking.
Well, exactly. Don't give up. Don't.
Don't give up.
Yeah, and
Don't take the first thing that comes along.
Well, what I found, especially I try not to go out too much. I try not to go out by myself or basically not have an eye on me, because I have a tendency to I still have that prison mentality, and I was released last year. I'll give you an example. I recently got a car and spent 7 hours getting the tag, the registration, the title transferred over, then spent 3 hours looking for, insurance quotes, finally found a good quote, made, a full year payment. So I'm ready to rock. Next day, I'm in the turn lane to go to our town's Home Depot, and the thoroughway traffic light turns green. There's nobody in my left lane. And then all of a sudden there was. And he drove by at about 40 miles an hour and hit my side view mirror and, flipped it forward. For some reason, the glass didn't break, but it did fly through my passenger side window and hit me in the side of the head. At which point I pulled out of the Home Depot turn lane and proceeded to follow him wherever he went, which he ended up going down the road just a little bit. And I finally caught up with him and politely, explained the situation. "Sir, did you realize, you hit my side view mirror while you were passing?" He said he did not. In pretty crappy terms, yeah, I could tell he was going to be a hassle. And I said, "Well, listen, let me explain the situation. I just got the car, blah, 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 And it was real. And next thing you know, you hit my side view mirror. The motor's broke. The glasses come out. It hit me in the face. So how do you want to do this? You want to exchange information? Give me your name, your number, address. Do you want to go through insurance? I'd rather not, considering I just got insurance the day before. I would hate to make a claim the next day.
Right.
Yeah. So as I asked him for his information, he goes, "No." All right.
Did he see you?
Oh, I parked 5 spaces away from, his vehicle. The parking lot, he was in a CVS. The parking lot was very small. But I'm very aware of my surroundings. So when I got out of the car, the first thing I looked for were where the fisheye cameras were. Because you never know. So option B. "All right, sir. Well, how much money do you have in your wallet? Because I need recompense for the damage done to my vehicle. Whether you realize you did it or not is of no concern to me, because I know you did, because I followed you here." And he cursed, told me to, off. And I said, you're not leaving me with a lot of options here, Bubba. That gives me option C. And I guarantee you're not going to like option C. And he literally, I'll choose option C. So I gave him option C and ended up pulling a front tooth out of my front knuckle, out of my right front knuckle. And then immediately realized, oh crap, I'm on probation. But I knew I was out of the range of cameras, so I looked around and checked out where the eyes were. Fortunately, this isn't a retirement community, okay? These old people don't give a crap about what's going on. They care about the prescriptions they're trying to pick up at the CVS. So, I mean, there are 4 or 5 people walking past this guy laid out in between 2 cars and me going, ooh, so I immediately hightailed it, did my business at Home Depot, and thought nothing of it because I knew I had weighed the risk, and it was a stupid thing to do. But I still found myself doing it because it's all about respect, and I felt very disrespected. Had this not happened the day after I just went through all that crap with the DMV and just dropped $500 on 6 months of insurance and the money for the car and the money for the tag and all the registration, I wouldn't have been as lit as I was. But when his attitude was so he wasn't being very considerate, and that offended me highly. So and he wasn't willing to work. So
what kind of car was he driving?
I think it was a Subaru. It was a lovely medley of like a goldish color combined with rust.
He probably didn't even have insurance.
Well, yeah, you're telling me. This cat was barefoot. I mean,
oh,
trailer trash.
Professional.
Yeah, trailer. Bless his heart. I grew up in a trailer. I'm Blackfoot.
Bless your heart.
Mm-hmm.
So, a question for you: people are asking, which we'll tag on to that comment. How has it been adjusting after getting out of prison? Was it last May or June? July?
It was last year in July 4th, Independence Day. Ha 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 ha. Florida DOC, man, they are funny. They're so funny. And I was arrested 5 years before on New Year's Eve and then processed on New Year's Day. Happy New Year. It was awesome. Yep. If anything, they're always ironic. I'll tell you that. So
how has it been? I mean, last time you were with us, we saw your cabinets still have ramen in them.
Oh, they still
got all those ramen noodles.
Yep. Still, yeah. So
how's it going though? Seriously, how is it for you?
Well,
what's it like?
Adjusting the first time was really hard. The second time has been a little bit better. But it's prison culture is an entirely different societal element. Everything is so simple yet incredibly detailed. There are things you can do you can't do in prison. There's certain little tiny things that you cannot do in prison and expect to just walk on by, and that can range from if you're walking somewhere and somebody gives you a nod and an acknowledgement and you don't nod back or acknowledge them, that's disrespect. They will find you. They will find you on the on the yard, or they'll find you. You know, they take it personal. When you don't have anything to do, you sit there and you'll eat your own head. And that's what a lot of people do. There's nothing else to concentrate on. So what do? Man, I took the time out of my walk to go, good day, sir. And dude just walked by me like I'm some POS. I got something for him. And it'll well up. It'll build something so little. And that's, you know, that's.
But why does it get like that? Why is respect? Why do you care? Like, to me, I walk around, I could care less. I would prefer people not speak to me, to be honest with you. So why do you care?
Yeah, well, why do I care?
Why does the prison culture care? Not just you specifically, but overall prison culture care.
See,
like if I walk past you, why do you care?
Exactly. Because that's prison culture. Respect, bar none, is top. You don't come up to somebody and just be like, hey man, look, bro, I don't like the look on your face, blah, 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 blah. Guess what? You're going to get into it. You're going to bump. But if you approach somebody and be like, hey, no disrespect, and I appreciate you taking your time to hear me out, but listen, I felt disrespected because you gave me a look, you know, a couple of days ago, and I didn't know how to take that look. Was there anything behind that? You know, one or two things are going to happen. They're going to feel cornered, or, you know, especially if they're hard asses, or if they're shot callers, or if they've got a lot of weight, or if there's somebody around. If you catch them alone, that's when you have a conversation. That's when you have a heart-to-heart. That's when you can get somebody to kind of drop their guard and actually converse with you. If there are other people around, like say they're a gang member and they've got associates, they're not going to take your, you know, your consideration and your respect into consideration. They're gonna be like, who cares if I look at you some way and say, huh? Who gives it, man? You want to get there, homeboy? You want to get there? I mean, it'll go, yeah, in a heartbeat, man. I saw a guy.
School.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, yeah, kind of.
Very high school sounding.
Yeah, it can get. But I've seen a guy get his ear bit off by, you know, setting his cup in front of another dude's cup in the milk line for breakfast. I mean,
what did you mean by shot caller? I need some definitions of the words you're using. What's the shot caller? Shot callers, like in the skinhead culture, they're called headbangers. But shot callers are like head gang members. They're the ones who, yeah, you know, the head man of the Bloods, the head man of the LKs, the head man of the Crips, or the GDs or the Folks. I mean, they're all a conglomerate, but they each have somebody in charge of their soldiers. You know what I mean? And even loose affiliations. You may not be patched in. We talked about that the last interview. You know, when you're patched in, you're official after you've done your probate, and you know, they tattoo you, or brand you, or slight, you know, cut you, mark you basically. And once you're marked, that's it. And if you do something to break the rules, they remove the mark. I mean, you're lucky if they'll black it out, because the other ways are horrendous. They'll cut it off or they'll burn it off, and they're not playing. That's why I was never patched in, but I was affiliated. So I ran with the whites. I mean, what am I going to do? Join the Bloods? Right.
And it's not.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Please
Going
do.
back to Charlie Adelson. So Charlie is life plus 60. Apparently, according to my son, who used to be a corrections officer, now a truck driver.
Correct.
he put himself in administrative confinement. Have you ever been in administrative confinement?
Many times. That's the first down here. That's the first place you go. When you're under, it's basically you're under investigation. Whether you turn yourself in and say, "Listen, I fear for my life," or somebody's out to get me, you're going into AC confinement, administrative confinement, which is it's not PC, it's not protective custody, but it is a safe haven. A lot of child molesters, will claim.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Well, they'll lie or say somebody's out to get them or whatever, and they'll put them in AC confinement. Down here in Florida, AC confinement, which you're under investigation, they investigate your claim or whatever you possibly did wrong, and they can do this for up to 180 days. You can sit back there for 180 days. And at that point, if you haven't been convicted of whatever they said you've done, or they found no evidence that backs up what you have said, that, like, for in his case, he probably claimed that he feared for his life or whatever and couldn't handle general pop. After 180 days, they have no choice. They will put you back onto the compound. A lot of times, COs and captains, lieutenants, and stuff, if they have a real problem child, you know what I mean, they'll put people under investigation and put them in AC confinement for the full 180. Let them out, move them to a dorm with a new bunk and a new mat and a new, not new, but a mat, a pillow, whatever, setup basically, and then literally turn around and put them right back into AC confinement for 180 days as a punishment, just to slow the roll, because they're they were too wild, but they could never catch them. They could never get them. So, but they knew Cat was making problems or doing deals or whatever. And yeah,
I think he's just a wuss. I think he's just a scaredy cat. There's a rumor that one of the actual hitmen, the actual one who shot the attorney Dan Markel, put out a hit on him.
Yeah, you said he was a king, right?
Yeah. Oh, he's not the king. He was the best friends of a king.
Still, yeah.
Is his name, and they said Lewis is in federal custody, the one who was a Latin king, but it doesn't matter.
It does not matter.
It doesn't matter. But they said Siegfried might have put a hit on him. How do you put a hit out when you're in prison all the time for the rest of your life?
Well, see, prisons right now are loaded with cell phones. But if they want to go retro and do and do the old school, you send kites out, and what you'll fly a kite. And no. What a kite is in prison is like a piece of paper, scrap piece, right? You'll write a message to somebody specifically, and you'll send a runner. I've had to do this many times for the Brotherhood, the AB, and the AN, just to get the ball rolling on certain situations or whatever. But normally it's you have to get the message to somebody who isn't in your dorm. So you may have to go across the compound. If you get caught with this kite, it can be detrimental. It will put you in AC confinement. They will investigate, and the guy who gave you the responsibility to fly this kite to get this message out, he's going to be really upset that message A didn't get delivered, and B, you got caught with it, and C, he's now under investigation. So they'll
How does this happen? So I'm your runner. Am I doing prison laundry and then I leave a message somewhere? Is it like TV?
That's a really good. Yep, you hit the nail on the head. Maintenance, laundry, kitchen, these workers, they have access to all the dorms. So a lot of people will pay one way or another, Cash App, just, favors, whatever, to get their messages across. Now, since the cell phones have been so rampant down here, I mean, they've got phones the size, they call them finger phones, and they're literally the size of a finger. Guess how they get in? Yeah.
So
Well,
disgusting.
yeah. All you got to do is ringy ding ding somebody's wife or somebody's girlfriend and say, hey, listen, old boy here, your man wants you to pass a message to old boy who's over here, half a state away, in another state, in Club Fed, wherever, that there's now a bounty out on such and such, debt payable when confirmation of the kill has been legitimized, and everybody pays. You pay your debts in prison. If credit card companies were ran like prison yards, there would be no credit card debt. I'm telling you, you pay your debts. It's the most important thing you can do. You have a clean face, your credit is stellar. You can get anything you want from anybody at any time because everybody respects you. Everybody knows you pay. Everybody knows you come through, and your word is bond. And that's very important. And I took a lot of pride in my credit because I had phenomenal credit. Oh, very respected because I always paid on time. I never came with the bull poop, and oh man, it's gonna be late. I'm sorry, because that's dangerous. People don't play about their money. I've seen people get their jaw broke for a 68 cent soup. A soup, one soup, get their jaw jacked because they said, man, I'll have that soup to you Thursday. Well, hey man, I'm sorry. It's going to be tomorrow. Bam. Apparently it's not, because you're going to medical. You just got your jaw jacked. So yeah, pay your debts in prison. If anybody's listening out there, you acquired a debt, you better pay it when you say it. It's the bottom line.
Which is better, AC or PC? Administrative or
AC is it's basically just a waiting. It's for people who actually mess up on the yard, okay, or get caught like with drugs or tattooing or anything that's against DOC policy. AC is just the waiting room. You will actually go before a court. It is a literal court, and it is a captain or a lieutenant, somebody of a high rank. It's never a sergeant. It's either a captain or a lieutenant, and then a witness CO. And they will read off the arresting officer, the one who caught you doing whatever. They'll read that report. You will plead guilty or not guilty. Or you could ask them for probation. You could plead, listen, I've never been in trouble before here. This is my first time. I was just getting a tattoo. I plead for probation, which is 45 days. It's a 45 days. They'll put you back on the compound as if nothing happened, right? And if you muff up in those 45 days, you're going directly to, we call it DC confinement down here, and that's disciplinary confinement. And that's where you're going to spend your time. And like, for instance, you're caught with a cell phone, that's 60 days. You get caught getting tattooed or giving a tattoo, that's 30 days. If you get caught, there was this one guy, man, I think it was my second time I was in DC, and it was for receiving a tattoo, or no, it was for a cell phone. These two Latin kings. Their names were Gio and Bravo. Yeah, and good guys, they really were. And what happened was the COs came in, bum rushed us with a shakedown, 10 deep. So everybody heard one time, two times, three times, rolling deep, rolling deep. And we know whenever we hear one time, that means one officer's coming. If we hear two times, that means two. If we hear anything over three, they'll say rolling deep. And that means they're coming to flip our entire lives upside down, basically put all our personal property in the middle of the room if we're in open bay and say, sort it out yourself, and look for contraband. So I was a good boy. See what I'm saying? I was least likely to be searched, and they'll do random searches. You know, a lot of times they'll come in that deep, but they'll only hit certain beds. Being a quiet individual, pretty much keeping to myself, associating to very, very few people, all of a sudden, Bravo just tosses his cell phone up, at me. I mean, boom. And I had no choice. What are you going to do? Man, what the you doing, man? Here, take this back. And meanwhile, the guards are coming in. Everybody's looking. No, I'd eat it. And guess what? Sergeant saw it. Saw the handoff, saw the play, saw the whole thing. And I had to eat it. They pulled me in the Sally port and said, whose phone is that? I was like, I don't know. It's like, come on, man. We know. We saw it. We saw it. Bravo gave it to you. These guys were heavy hitters for the Kings. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. So whose phone is it? That's a good question. I don't know how it got in my pocket. That's crazy. It's crazy, right? I risked a severe ass whipping, but they did not, thank goodness. They knew the lick, and I think what they thought was, poor white boy got caught up, had no choice but to eat it. So he's eating it, and we'll just send him on his way to the box. So
how many did you have? How many days?
I got 60.
So for 2 months, what do you do for 2 months in that room?
Fight with your bunkie.
So This is the kind of time that you saw the guy's face being eaten off, right?
This is the exact time.
You have a roommate when you're in solitary.
Correct. At least we do down here. Now, when you go to CM, which is controlled management, that means you did something bad. That means you stabbed somebody. That means, and there's a 3 year automatically. It's 3 years. Okay, the first year you're in a room by yourself, 23 hours a day for an entire year. The second year, they will let you out for like 4 hours a day, and they'll give you a bunkie. In the last year, they'll let you out. I think it's 6 or 7 hours a day, and you'll have a bunkie depending on if you're, behaving. But when you first get into like DC confinement, you're going to be there. Okay, there's an AC administrative. You can be released at any time, especially after your court date or after your court is held. And your appearance is always at like 4 a.m. It's crazy. So you'll get your bunkie, and one way or another, you'll eventually come to blows about something. For the first 2 days, we were fine. He was a younger black gentleman, 24, huge. Not tall, just genetically freaky, big shoulders, chest. Called himself Future, and we got along for 2 days straight. He was in there for gunning. Gunning is masturbating to female officers.
Oh yeah, I had that happen to me. That was nice.
Yep. Yes, that's 60 days off the ripper.
When I was a nurse, that was sweet. That was really lush.
Yeah, there, nothing but gentlemen in prison. So
it was the mentally ill side. It was the mentally ill side.
Sure. Yeah, so the second day we're eating dinner, and he's like, hey man, by the way, listen, anything I want off your tray, I'm just gonna go ahead and take that. But hey, man, don't worry. I ain't gonna starve you, nothing like that. And I looked at him, I was like, what? He's like, I told you I'm gonna take what I want off your tray, but I ain't gonna starve you. All right, you lucky I'll do that. And we got into it, and he beat me into the damn corner. I mean, he beat the snot out of me. Now, luckily, that very night, and I'm banged up, laundry came through. Geo and Bravo sent me a care package. Had magazines, lemon drops, coffee, toothpaste, toothbrush, and what saved me, 2 bars, well, actually 3 bars. I only used 2 bars of Next One soap, which is the soap you buy out of the canteen, and not this, not the soap that the DOC gives you, which is about the size of a postage stamp. So yeah, I waited till he went to sleep and slid those bad boys in a sock, and that was when I was the most scared, because you got to get the wrapper off of them, and it's real crinkly. And I'm literally like, it took me like 20 minutes to get the wrapper off these damn.
Too bad you couldn't wet it. You should have wet it first. That's what he said. You should have wet it.
They were in the wrapper. I mean, and he was sleeping by the toilet, which is by the sink. So if he hears crinkle, 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 and then crinkle, 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 man, cat wasn't stupid. So I had to get him out of the damn wrappers. And once I did, I slid him in one of my socks. And about that time, I tied him down. He rolls over, scares the crap out of me because I think he's up, and he's not. So I get up, and I'm getting ready to just wail on him. And I notice my foot with that one sock is getting stuck to the floor, and it's making a flap, flap, flap sound. And it is supremely quiet because everybody's sleeping. That's all we do. I mean, fight and sleep. But luckily, I got over him, and about that time, he raised his right arm above his head and just gave me all his ribs. So that's where I went. And I wailed on him until I could not breathe, and all that soap in that sock was dust, and it ended up fracturing 3 of his right ribs and busting his face all to hell. And the next
I don't know
day,
why I'm laughing.
Well, this sucked supremely, Patty. This was a horrible ordeal. But the next morning, it was awesome because, they call us to the door to get our breakfast tray, and it's a CO. Boom, boom, breakfast, boys. So I get up, I get my tray first. I'm lumped up, still got blood. I mean, I look like crap. And then he calls Future, and Future has to literally roll out of bed and kind of, hunch at a 90-degree angle because his ribs are busted, and he gets his tray, and the guard's looking through the window like, are y'all serious? And he told us right then and there, he's like, all right, numbnuts, this is the deal. We're packed. This box is loaded. We're not moving anyone. Y'all are stuck together. So go ahead and kill each other if you want, but you 2 are riding it out. And I see you both got 60, so have fun, and walked away.
Someone had that question, just a second. It says, Gretchen's asking, do the officers look the other way a lot, or do they keep up with everything that's going on?
Some do.
Is that kind of self-explanatory?
Well, yes, some don't give they don't give a fart in a high wind. They don't. They're collecting a check and working mad overtime because nobody wants to be a CO in Florida. And then you got the ones that were probably turned down by an actual law enforcement agency, military franchise, mentally incapable, or, flat-footed or whatever, and just got a big chip on their shoulder. So they look for everything, and they keep little notepads, and they write oh, you know, this inmate doing this, and they'll sit there and they'll tail you, and they'll tail you, and they'll tail you, and they don't give up. They're real pieces of work. Yeah. So,
How
but the guy,
often would you get searched? Were there scheduled searches or were they all random?
they're all random. You never know. It could be in at 3:30 in the morning. It could be at, 2 in the afternoon. You could be on the yard. All of a sudden, they call you back to the dorm and tell you get butt naked. Everybody, get butt naked. Stand by your door. We're gonna do the nuts and bolts.
Do that for a job. No one really does. No.
I don't want to look at testicles and brown eyes for a living at all. So yeah, I don't blame them. But what I was getting to was the guy next door. Once everything settled down between Future and I, the guy next door, we called him the ass camel. He was at the work camp, okay, and he got caught. They knew he was bringing in contraband, specifically tobacco and cell phones. And so they waited on a day that they were relatively sure that he had a major drop off. And he had a major drop off. So they get him in, and the first thing you do when you come back from the outside is you get butt naked, squat and cough. Didn't find anything until they put him in a dry cell. And he's like, "Why are you putting me in a dry cell?" Like, "Cause we know the lick. We know what's up. And we're going to wait you out." A dry cell is a cell with no toilet. Just a bucket. And eventually, all the evidence they needed worked its way out. So he got caught. This is no lie. And he's a freaking legend. This is amazing. 2 moderately sized touchscreen cell phones. Okay. 2 wall chargers with not with the flippy prongs like we got nowadays. No, these like the boxes with the prongs. Yeah, with the wires connected. 2 of those and 56 grams of raw tobacco in a, taped up and probably about the size of a friggin' navel orange all at once. He got 210 days. I'm so proud of that man doing the Lord's work, because you got to be dedicated, man. You got to be dedicated. God, yeah. So his reputation was sealed.
What was he gonna do with all that?
Oh, those were orders. Those were already sold. Those were already sold. Things don't come in unless they're paid for. You see?
Okay, whoa.
Yeah.
So now the order didn't get made. Now what happens to the guy?
Well, okay. It depends. Some guys, there are guys, Patty, there are guys in there right now making $100,000 every 3 months. I mean, they have, we have so many ways to get things in. For instance, our glorious ass camel, they would mow us. I'm telling you, he wasn't a mule. Normally they're called mules, they'll mule it in.
That makes sense. That's what we all know them to be.
Yeah, this friggin' guy, man, he could carry a lot more than a mule. So,
I bet he was popular amongst everybody.
Yeah, if you needed a place to hide, you can just jump right up in there and nobody will ever find you. Jesus, God. So, but they knew like his drops were getting left at a cemetery. They were responsible for mowing the county cemetery.
Oh.
And, yeah, so that's where they knew he was getting his stuff. And people were, workers or people who were that, had purchased a phone. Everything was cool. They've got outsiders, family members, friends, gang members that will, leave them in a designated spot and then give the information to the cat who's picking it up to bring it in. And these things are already paid for. Now, like I said, some guys, it's a loss. Man, you know, you're doing time in the box. You're doing 210 days, Bubba, and it ain't from a lack of effort. So, you know, they'll cut it loose. They, you know, most of the time, that's generally what happens. They'll just eat it. It's a loss. Nothing we can do about it. You tried your best. It wasn't your fault, you know. But if you do something stupid and get yourself caught on the house, you know, then yeah, the debt's probably going to be accrued to you. And cell phones are expensive. You know, they could go to a cell phone, like one of the finger phones. They probably ran maybe 80, 90 bucks. They're getting 800-900 for these phones because they're activated
800-900
easily. Yeah, easily. I mean, and if it's nice, there's people with iPhones in there. I mean, nice iPhones. You know, the new i14. I'm like, how in the cops, the COs, dirty birds, bless their hearts. You know, they like that money. And a lot of the
Are they
time,
willing to go to prison for it though? If a CO is caught with whatever, don't they get charged?
Yep. And they will go to prison. We had a guy named Trailer Park. He used to be a CO at the Wild West unit, which is located in Lake Butler, Florida. It's actually the medical camp that you have the East and the West. The West is a reception center. The East unit is a medical center, like a full-on hospital kind of deal. But the Wild West unit is a reception center. And you could be there for a day, you could be there for 3 months. There's no telling. You know, there was a guy, we called him Trailer Park, but he was a CO. And normally we find out that there's a CO in our prison that is now a convict, and we find out what he did, you know, wasn't respectable, wasn't criminally respectable, you know, then he's going to have a rough time. Fortunately for Trailer Park, he was caught bringing in an ounce of cocaine. That's respectable. He was, you know, working for us, not them. And that mentality is very, very prominent. It's us versus them. Always has been. Probably always will be. There's never going to be any unity between a CO and a criminal, or a convict. Inmates are different. They're short timers. They'll play by the rules. They'll stay out of the way. Convicts, they're GAF is broken. They don't care. They don't care. Whatever. What are you gonna do? Oh, you can send me the box? Cool. I'll do 60. I'll be right back out, and I'll have everything already set up, just like I had it before. As if I never left, because I have soldiers running the show while I'm not there, and it's a back and forth war, and I can't imagine being a CO and having your upper management coming down on you for all this contraband coming in that they can't do jack about. Nothing. We have drones. We have dirty cops. We've got pickup artists. We've got, some of the smartest people I have ever met in the world have been freaking convicts. I mean, geniuses. You would have never thought of some of these ideas. Necessity is the mother of invention, and I'm telling
Creativity.
You. Woo!
I drove.
Genius.
When I was coming home from Pennsylvania a few months ago, I drove past Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
I drove onto the property at Columbia because I was across the street and I was kind of watching where the guy was, and there's a little in the little watch shed because it's open. There's no gate to go in. And so
Correct.
I drove towards the administrative side where the annex is. I have a video of it, but I look like sugar, so I didn't do it. I didn't post it.
The annex.
But is everything you're describing, the cemetery, all of that, was that done while you were at the annex?
Yeah.
Or was it?
Yes, the work camp was at the annex, and that was their dorm was our dorm, the letter R, and they would send 15, 20 guys out, and they would do landscaping, basic stuff. It's a small town. I mean, there's really not a lot to do. Weed eat, mow. They do the cemetery, but yeah, I mean, wherever they go, once they get a feel and once they get a look around, because we're very observant and see a good spot for drops. I mean, it's on like Donkey Kong, it just boom, and then business can start. So, and business does start always.
Columbia is like 45 minutes from the interstate. There's literally nothing there.
There's a dairy farm, a paper mill, and I think a chicken farm. So it smells just edible. Just it's lovely. And at the main unit, nope, excuse me, that's at Mayo. That was at Mayo. They have a field of cabbage. And that's where our cabbage comes from. But when it rots, it's just god awful. But yeah, but at Columbia, yeah, they would go and just basically do landscaping. That's basically it. So yeah.
There's nothing. It took forever to get there from the interstate. Forever.
Yeah, and they do that on purpose. Even Graceville we were 5 minutes from the Alabama line, but there was nothing. I mean, the road to get back there was 25 minutes ride. Yeah.
Wow.
So, but if Charlie's in AC, he's in there for a reason, and it's probably of his own recognizance, and he is probably going to try to stay there as much as possible, as long as possible. But as I said, last I know, and this is pretty recent, you got 180 days. If nothing is found, you're put back on the compound. But he does have the opportunity to just go, I don't feel safe or secure, and be put right back in AC. Eventually, he's going to find his way to protective custody, PC confinement. And it doesn't matter. If he has a hit on his head, they're going to get him eventually. If there's a true hit on his head, if somebody has put money on the table to have something done, I don't know what that could be. It could be a number of things. Specific.
Well, Sigfredo, the one who supposedly made the hit, is not. He is a moron. I mean, he is really stupid. He's like really, really stupid. They found he just got moved out to. He's at Santa Rosa now. He was over in Rayford. But he got moved because they found like 6 feet of rope and some sheets. What the hell was he going to do with that?
Huh.
He's such a moron.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's, that is,
that doesn't mean he couldn't put a hit on someone, but he's not bright enough to think of his own hit. He'd have to hire someone to create a hit.
Yeah. If he definitely sounds like a moron because he should have.
He's been Taylor. I think he's been to 5 prisons in 2 years. Yeah. And now he's in close custody. He's in close.
Yeah, that's basically, well, that's his security status. A lot of people, especially with murder charges, you come in with close custody. It really doesn't differentiate you from any other inmate. They'll still put close custody inmates with medium level custody inmates with, low level. That's just their security level. Basically, they have a list of close custody inmates, and those are inmates they're supposed to, kind of keep an eye on.
Really high security is what you mean. Like if it was maximum security prison.
Yeah, because like Columbia was the annex and the especially the pain unit, that they were one under supermax. They were one
Oh,
under
really?
Because
They just let me drive right on. So they kind of watched me. You could tell they were watching me, but that was it.
Because they have towers. They have towers at the main unit, and they have one center tower at the annex. But they also have cameras surrounding the entire property of the annex. But at the main unit, they've got towers, and they've got COs in the towers at all points in time, except for shift change. A lot of stuff goes down because it takes a minute to crawl up those stairs. It does.
So Miss Wee is asking, has Callen ever known an inmate? This is getting personal. Okay. Has Callen ever known an inmate need hospital treatment if they've hidden a phone or something and it gets stuck?
No, eventually everything always comes out. I don't know.
Well, you could have a twisted colon from all of this.
Of course. I know that they have suffered injuries, and then had to suck it up. Because what literally, yeah, like you can go to the, you plop out your delivery and go, oh man, my butt hadn't stopped bleeding for 4 days. I feel a little lightheaded. I better go to medical. And they ask what's wrong, and you're like, I'm experiencing rectal bleeding. They're going to be like, really? Huh? There's only few ways that your butt's going to bleed in prison. And one of them is if you've excreted something that was way too large or took something in that was way too large.
Or both.
Indeed. Yeah. So
could Charlie pay for protection? Could Charlie pay for protection?
Yep.
From who? From the guards? From who?
Yeah, guards, but guards aren't always around. His best bet, if he was going to pay for protection, would be to go to a shot caller, go to a headbanger, and literally start a payment plan that better, reciprocate every single time he says it's going to be there. And as somebody who scheduled and perpetuated such a dumb murder scenario,
it really did, dude.
Yeah, it's not like he's a child molester. You know what I mean? He's a murderer. So
he's Jewish.
Yeah, well, and what
it doesn't help. It's just not going to help.
He's not. Well, I tell you what, he's not going to find a lot of help from the Aryan Brotherhood. That's for sure.
Probably not.
Probably not. The AN, the nation, the Aryan nation, is likely to not, be compatible for his requirements. His best bet would be like Kings, Bloods, Cutthroats, Crips, Folks, Gangster Disciples. The white people probably are not going to mess with him too much if they find out he's Jewish. It's just,
well, it's all over the internet. I mean, it's everywhere.
Yeah. And if you want to know about somebody in prison, just call your people and give them their DC number. Hey, tell me about this guy. And that's what I did. I called my mama. Hey, Mom, I smell something about this cat. Here's his number. She go, oh, I'll look him up right now. Boop, 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 boop. And then it was always funny to hear her response. Oh my God. And I'm like, yep. Oh God, I knew it. Friggin' child molester. And he, oh God, Callen, under 12. I'm like, all right, I'll put the word out. I love you, Mom. And that was it, because I get these sneaking suspicions about these guys. Some people were off. Some of them, it was a surprise. Mom would be like, oh my God. And it was like, oh, he's a child molester. No, he's a friggin' multiple murderer and a friggin' psychopath who skinned the bodies of his victims, and I mean, I Whoa, didn't see that one coming. Yeah, that wasn't the impression he gave me initially. So thanks for the warning, Mom. Good Lord. So,
well, you're not a murderer, but what
nope.
advice would you give a murderer like Charlie? Not to murder.
He really doesn't need any. Yeah, you shouldn't have did what you done did, dummy. So, but he done did it, and now he's in there, and he's in it to win it. Life with 60. Go ahead and roll on your mom. You're kind of pissing down your own leg, Bubba. Man, he did this in Florida. If he pulled this crap in Alabama or Georgia or, somewhere else, he might have I don't know. He may have a chance, but down here, Florida, not the smartest Jew I ever heard of. I thought they were supposed to be impeccably intelligent. No, he muffed up. He muffed up real good on this one. Because, man, to not start knocking down time off a life sentence, let alone a 60 on top. Because I've known a cat, he had 3 life sentences back to back to back. Most redundant, repugnant sentencing I can ever think of. We're going to give you a life sentence, and if you live through that, you'll have another life sentence, and if you live through that one, you'll have another. Don't be jackasses. That's just repugnant. So life sentence is a life sentence. That's it. You're going to die in prison. That's what's up. 3 life sentences.
So Debbie's asking. It's not really. Yeah. I think Debbie's not asking. She's making a statement, which I'm going to politely, likely, and you'll probably agree with me, correct it. Okay. Because we had a trial here for a woman named Denise Williams. She was it was the same type of charges as Charlie. She didn't actually pull the trigger, but it was conspiracy charges. Her life, the life, she got life plus 30, I think. Her life was appealed and overturned, but she's still at 30.
Right.
So even if, like you said, they take away the 60 or they take away the life, he's still in the rest of his life. He's not getting out. Correct.
And the gentleman I was talking about, he had 3 life sentences.
We lost you, Calen.
Yep, there you are. All right, you back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Wherever you were standing, but go ahead, sir.
Yeah, my travel trailer is made out of Kevlar and is atom bomb proof. So cell phone reception gets a little iffy sometimes. But he gave 2 of his life sentences back, and is in the courts to have his remaining life sentence reduced. So it's not impossible, but he has to have grounds. There has to be significant reason for there we go, for a judge to redact a life sentence, because the original judge who dealt that sentence, it's a big club, judges. And in prison we have a saying, the hierarchy goes, God judges the president of the United States, and that's the power. That's the power level. Judges, they can make or break you. They can give you your life back, they can take it away. So and that's the end all be all. It's not impossible, but I'm saying 60 plus life and he's guilty as sin. Yeah, he's kind of pissing in the wind there. Don't get your hopes up.
I mean, he could turn on his mother just to be closer to a place where his son could be, or something like that, right? Don't they sometimes?
They'll make adjustments to
based on location as a favor.
Yep, and that's what is a tit for tat, and it always depends on what prosecution wants. They want to know what you got. What do you got? And how juicy is it? Like, how much of a difference maker is this going to have on our, you know, on our success rate? You know, how good is this going to make me look as a prosecutor, or a state attorney that's prosecuting a case, as a judge? You know, how is this going to make me appear in the eyes of the public? You know, it's very important. It's very important for them to have credibility as a, you know, a lawyer, law enforcement officer, especially judges. And judges don't like to negate what other judges have instated. It's kind of like spitting in your homie's face, you know. I don't see it for old boy. And, you know, quite frankly, I don't give a shit. I mean, I don't care is what I said. About
what would be okay? So I know you're not. That's not why you were in. But people ask. So Sigfredo, which is the one I told you, he's already been at 5 prisons, and he was the shooter of Dan Markel.
Okay.
He is not flipping. He hasn't. He has never offered a proffer. He's never done anything. He's never done a thing.
This is his first charge ever, huh?
No, he's been in for like small things.
Well, I mean, he caught it this time. I mean, that's for sure. You know, he's been charged, convicted.
Is there like some sort of like, how do I ask the question? Is there some sort of thing that would stop him from trying to get a deal to see his kids sometime in the future? You know what I mean?
To stop him? Yeah.
Why would he not? I mean, maybe he's worried about the Latin Kings. He is not a Latin King. The other guy was Latin King.
Okay.
I don't know. I've always wondered why he didn't.
Roll?
He hasn't offered to say this is true, that's true. He's already lost his appeal. So
well,
why? You only get one appeal, or is it one appeal for each charge?
For each charge. Yeah, because of double jeopardy. You can't, you know, if you're acquitted on something, you can't be brought back on that exact same charge, even if there's new evidence that proves.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't. Double jeopardy. The way the law works is case precedent. You know, if somewhere out in Utah somebody does the same crap that Charlie does, right, and gets off, I mean, but the stipulations have to be exact, and he gets acquitted, that means Charlie could get acquitted. Case precedent rules over all, and that is why.
That's very helpful.
Yeah, well, that's why.
I didn't even think about that. So if his appeal works for Siegfried, even though it was a different judge, that judge has since passed away. Even if, then Charlie would have a leg up on an appeal.
Possibly,
in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, or it could backfire. I mean, you know, he could blow his only shot at a reduced sentence by, you know, saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing. You said he's quite lippy. Said he had a mouth on him.
Oh, he's definitely. Well, he's not just lippy. He doesn't shut up. I mean, he just goes. You should hear if you ever just want to laugh your ass off. The jail calls between Charlie Adelson and his mother Donna before she was arrested are hilarious. They knew they were being recorded, and there's hours, thousands of hours of calls.
Incriminating hours upon hours.
Well, and even saying that she was thinking of leaving and she was going to go, and that's how they knew she was leaving for Vietnam, and they found her on the jetway at the Miami-Dade airport and arrested her because she's a moron.
She ate that one, didn't she? She just set herself up. Oh God, can you
And she's
imagine?
75 years old.
Yeah, she's on the friggin', runway. Oh, I made it. Excuse me, ma'am. Can you turn around, put your hands behind your back? Immediate dump in her depends. Yep, that's right. Eeps.
No, she
And
was cocky about it. She was really cocky. I'm going to send you the links. And so you can just watch it just for your own entertainment and
please,
be like,
yeah, that
there
sounds
really are
hilarious.
stupider people out there.
God, I mean, don't get me wrong. There are cats out there that just F themselves on the house, saying the wrong thing. Being inconsistent is a very, very huge attribute to being a dumbass criminal. What you do if you are ever arrested is shut up. That's what you do.
Oh, no.
I
It
mean,
didn't shut up at all.
that's just,
Charlie gets, okay, so let me tell you, let me set it up for you, Calen, because
please do.
it is the most, that's why this case is fascinating millions of people, because they're that dumb. So Charlie gets convicted. That day, they start releasing these calls. He's calling his mom. He's calling his best friend. He's calling his cousin. He's calling all these people, his baby mama, about how he's set up and how we're all rednecks, we're horrible human beings, and he's smarter than the rest of the world. But he keeps calling his mom, and he keeps calling his mom, and they keep talking about it, and then the sister, who I believe is the architect of the whole thing, they're like,
Really?
well, Wendy just had to drive by the scene. She just had to do it. It's just hours and hours and hours of just absolute.
You mean
buffoonery.
she drove by the scene while
Wendy.
the cops oh man, that's a criminal.
Which was her
That's a
house.
crime scene. Yeah, that's a crime scene.
And then she lied 3 times. She's 3 different trials. And she lied and said she stopped at the intersection. Well, where the house was a mile down the road. She wouldn't have seen the crime scene tape. She blamed it on a tree coming down. She blamed it on all this stuff. But the fact is, her car was there. And it was out. It was probably 45 minutes out of the way from where it should have been, going to a liquor store.
Okay.
And she had a liquor store near her house, and she just kept driving.
Did any of the because most officers have dash cams. They saw it.
Well, there's no dash cam. It was 10 years ago, per se. At least that they're giving us. There was no dash cam. Okay. But there is. She said it. She saw the tape. She saw the officer. She said it.
Yeah, the reason I asked is this last time I got picked up, there were 10 cop cars, 2 blocking off the main roads and 8. And I got 4 in my front yard, 4 in my back, because my victim told them that when they come to pick me up, I was not going to go quietly whatsoever, and proceeded to tell them where all my guns were, and I mean, in graphic detail. So
yeah, you said there was a girl, right? A girl.
Yeah. She was crazy, bless her heart. And I don't wish any ill will.
Wasn't she cute? You said she was real cute.
Oh, she's adorable. She was adorable. And like I said, I don't wish her no harm. I just hope she kills herself. Yeah.
It's not funny. You're funny. It's not funny. So what are the chances of Charlie unaliving himself? Like, how many people really do that in prison? Not many.
So how many? I'm sorry. What are the chances of Charlie doing what now?
Unaliving himself. We have to be careful on YouTube and Facebook.
I understand. Money. Yeah, money. But still, what are the chances? It depends, and that's the thing about being a bigwig in prison, especially if you have that much clout that people come to you like the Godfather, you're under the thumb. All right. And when you go to the big boys, you're under a big damn thumb. All right. So what they say goes. And wait, that one part of the deal doesn't matter. It is now. You got to be real careful with who you pull your deals with. All right. So if he asked for protection, there could be a monthly increase, weekly increase. They could bleed him dry and then leave him for dead. Leave him for unliving. Or whatever you said, that word.
Unalive. So,
Unalive.
Calen, this is a good idea. Someone said that we should come on and have you listen to some of the jail calls. If you have time next week, I'll set it up so you come on with us and listen to the calls.
I love to laugh. Yeah, sure. Don't get me wrong. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I never incriminated myself. I made them work for it, and they worked for it, and they got it. So, I mean, I would. Yeah, I'd be more than happy to. That actually would open. Funny. Yeah, that would open my eyes to the case a lot more, because I'm still pretty unfamiliar with the specifics of the situation, and it would enlighten me quite a bit to whether or not he's got any kind of shot in any courtroom in the world.
I don't think he does.
I don't think he does either. I mean, it's. I mean,
I'm not an attorney. I always say, I have to say that.
Yep,
neither one of us are attorneys. We're not judges, accountants. We're just giving our own opinion, not a legal opinion, for entertainment purposes only. So a girl asked again, I'm assuming it's girl, me, why, yo. How long could Charlie stay in administrative isolation? What did you say? It's like 180?
180 days down here in Florida. It's 180 days max. They will let you out for, a couple hours, put you back in Gen Pop, at which point he can claim he still feels unsafe, whatever. And it's really up to, the guards, whether they feel it's credible or not, to put him back into AC confinement. Keep in mind, AC confinement is not protective custody. He will get a bunkie. Okay. And if somebody's hunting for him, they could very well pay off a guard and be his bunkie. And then lo and behold, say old boy already has a life sentence. His appeals have been flushed down the toilet. He wants a comfortable prison life, because that's what he's going to do. And the gimmick is, and here's a real kicker, down here, supposedly, and I've never seen it enforced. If you murder somebody, you're a convict or an inmate, and you're in prison down here in Florida, and you murder another inmate or convict, the sentence is death. I have known at least 6 people that have murdered outright other inmates, and they're back on the compound in a couple of years. The same friggin' compound I'm on during my same stretch. I look over and I'm like, what? And they'll go to Stark. They'll go Rayford, Stark, Floor, FSP. It's the same. They got a lot of names. Where Bundy went, where Rollins went, where Elaine went, and a lot of the big hitters. And then lo and behold, you'll catch him on the damn compound. Like the dude who bit the dude's ear off in the milk line. He was out of the box 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, he bit a man's ear off. Next thing I know, I see him on the compound. He's in the yard playing.
Was the guy that you're talking about?
No, this was a different guy. He was
okay. Because I know that man that did what you were talking about earlier. I looked it up.
Okay, yeah. That was gnarly. But this was a different incident, and it was a white dude and a young black dude. The white dude was a Nazi lowrider, and then I don't know if the black dude was affiliated, but apparently, the white dude put his cup in front of the black dude's cup, and they set their cups out on the table at night, and that sets your place. You see what I'm saying, for the milk. And well, white boy didn't care. He stuck his cup in front of his. They got into it, and they clutched. He Mike Tysoned his ass and just and had, I mean, just took it all the way off.
What's a low rider? Neely's asking, what's a low rider?
They're Nazi lowriders. They're Nazi lowriders. It's a group, if I'm not mistaken, out of Southern California originally. They're whites, but they associate heavily with cartels, Spanish cartels, and Spanish gangs. And it surprised me when I went in for the first time and how prevalent it was during the second time. The whites and the Spanish generally really get along against the blacks because the blacks are the most dominant. There's so many of them that there's no racial barrier when it comes to the Kings and the Aryan Brotherhood. Now, they're not exactly going to be best of friends. You know what I mean? It's all business. It's all business. And good business is good business in prison. That's it. So, if you raise an army that is loyal and know where everybody stands and respects where everybody stands, then, that's a good army to be with. Especially when the dominant culture is anti-white, anti-Mexican, anti-Spanish, and mostly black. And I see where I can see where this division has developed, especially over the last 20, 30 years in Florida's prisons, because the population of the African American community makes up damn near 70% of Florida's prison population. I mean, when we were at the height, we had over 100,000 inmates, and 70% of them, I think it was 68. I'm not too sure. 68 to 70 were black. Whether or not that is equitable to the crimes committed, or if there, is actually a racial bias in law enforcement, I can't tell you. I stay the hell away from cops, and I definitely don't talk about ethnical issues with them, And so, how am I supposed to know? I don't talk to cops. Which brings me back to my point. When you get arrested, shut up. Don't say anything. All you need to say is, I want to talk to my lawyer. I want to talk to my lawyer. I want to talk to my lawyer. That's all you say. You don't say nothing. Don't give them anything. And they'll play good cop, bad cop. They'll do all the psych tricks. And for a newbie, somebody who's green, I understand they may fall for it. They may eat it up. They may think, oh, well, he said if I work with him, No. If you work with him, you just made his job easier. Good job. So
let me introduce you again, because it's been a while. So I'm speaking to Calen. Calen is a former inmate who's getting his life together, going to school, doing what he should be doing for the most part, except for a couple days ago. We're not going to do that anymore, are we?
No, that's not.
Calen got a car. Yeah, we won't even talk about it again, so we're not going to say it. But anyway, Calen is a hoot, and I really enjoy speaking with him.
I like you too, Patty. I like the show. He's a
really great guy. So people wanted to know who you were, and the reason I contacted you is because of your blog. So in the show notes, I'm going to put your blog up.
I didn't even know I had a blog. Are you talking on the PJP, the prison?
Yeah, your articles.
Okay, yeah. That's theirs. I just wrote for them and enjoyed every minute.
It's called a blog. That's why it's called a blog.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you have to pardon my social media ignorance.
That's okay.
I've been away for
a while.
I've been away for a minute. Yeah.
It's been a while, but it's beautiful. It is really beautifully written. You're a very talented writer. You really are.
Yeah,
you're very talented writer.
I like words, and
I get nervous with inviting people because no one likes rejection. But Calen was like, "Sure, I'll do it." So it's been really nice. We've had long conversations anyway. But I have a question for you.
Please.
But I will share his blog because I think it's important to hear someone, not only if you follow the Adelson trial, but Calen lived in the annex. He said it was the worst experience in the couple stints he did. I'm talking like an inmate now. The stint.
I've been to, like I said, the first year of my first bid, they moved me to 8 different camps in 1 year, and it was due to I was supposed to be on some sort of antidepressants, and for some reason they kept sending me to camps that weren't considered what we call psych camps. Ergo, I would stay there a couple months or whatever until a bed opened up at a psych camp, and then get moved around, and finally I settled in the worst effing prison in Florida. God, my luck.
Oh, I have a question about medicine. I'm so glad you said that.
Okay.
So when I worked at the jail, which I worked at Leon County Jail as a nurse for, I don't know, I liked it. It was about 1.5 years. I enjoyed it. It was weird, but
yeah, I bet. I'm
no longer work as a nurse anymore, but I liked it because I felt the safest working as a nurse. When you work in a nursing home, I've been kicked in the face, hit, and it's all sorts of stuff.
My sister,
but in a jail, they can't really do that.
Correct.
So I felt very safe. My question is meds. So if you come in and say you have, I'm going to say some diagnosis you may or may not know, but you said depression, schizoaffective, schizophrenic.
Yep.
Do they freely give those meds out when you're in the prison system, not jail? Jail, they really don't. So
yeah, it was funny. When I was in jail, the first bid, that's where I actually found the antidepressant that actually worked for me, which is Celexa. And this is after literally 10 years of going through, I mean, you name it, I took it. Lithium, Zoloft, Lexapro, added stabilizers, Paxil, Abilify, Prozac. I mean, the list was laundry. And the lady, after about the 5 minutes, me rattling on everything I, scorched my skull on, she goes, "Have you ever tried Celexa?" And I said, "No, I don't think I have." She's like, "That makes sense." And I said, "Why?" And she goes, "Because it's cheap."
Oh.
Bitch. And lo and behold, we did a 4-month, trial, 10 milligrams, 20, 30. And by the 4th month, I'm sitting in jail, getting ready to go to prison, going, I think I can handle this. Wow, I'm pretty stable. This is actually crazy
I have more questions.
Yeah.
So is that what their minimum was when they're trying you out? Because this is Nurse Patty talking now. So when you're doing the lithium or you're doing the other medications.
This was on the street though. This was before I got in trouble. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I started from low dose, increased dosages, tried stabilizers along with the antidepressants. Just nothing was working, which caused me to get more depressed. And led me to spiral. And that's when
you're in the prison system, how is it about getting psychotropics? Do they give them? Do they not give them? What?
They do. We have pill call. Once or twice a day, depending, your dosage. If you take something for schizoaffective disorder or schizophrenia, major depression disorder, if you have anxiety, high anxiety, or ADHD, ADD, anything like that, you're SOL. Give it up.
That's what I was wondering.
Yep, you're not going to get anything good. They used to prescribe Wellbutrin for antidepressants until somebody figured out that if you bust it up and snort it, it's nicknamed chain gang cocaine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you snort it, it gives you a little upper.
And that's one of the fewer antidepressants. It helps with smoking, Callen. And second, it is
don't tell me how to live my life.
It's weight loss. That's where it really helps, is weight loss. You don't gain weight on Wellbutrin the way you do on like a lithium.
Lithium or Depakote. Depakote's a big bloater. Oh my Lord. So's a pill.
That's what my husband's bipolar. And when I met him, he was on Depakote, and I got it changed.
Yeah, thank God.
Because he was very handsome. He's still very handsome. But I knew that the long-term deficits for Depakote.
Yep.
So, Calen, I just started smoking cigars.
Oh, I love cigars. I love cigars.
To help me lose weight. To help me lose more weight.
What helps me, and what my scripts are 3. My Celexa, I take once a day, 40 milligrams. I take Adderall, for my ADHD and Xanax for my high anxiety. The combination has made me more sane and more level-headed, aside from a couple days ago, than I have ever been in my life. And I've seen some sort of mental health therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist, counselor since I was 7, because I'm an 80s baby. So of course, you got a 6-year-old boy who runs around rampant because he's a 6-year-old boy. In the 80s, what do? Ritalin. So
yeah, but that's why you're so smart. People don't realize that ADHD is not,
I'm
you obviously have to be on the right medication, but you're so smart, likely because of ADHD.
Exactly. Well, the ADHD plus the highly functioning OCD is a blessing. I can't knock it. I mean, as far as mental illnesses go, I can't recommend any better ones, because
I don't think of it as a mental illness. I really don't.
Yeah. It ensures that I get shit done, get poop done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it does, in the DSM-6, but in the end, there's so many of us like myself who are ADHD.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. And, the Xanax, the Celexa I love because with most antidepressants, I think all of them actually, I'm not too sure. I'm not a doctor or nurse, but you never build a tolerance. They level your serotonin, your dopamine, and they keep those levels steady as long as you take them. That's why a lot of people take antidepressants. Oh, I feel a lot better now. I guess I don't need them. And then 2 weeks later, once it's fully out of the system and their brain,
you have to meet my husband, Calen, because he is 66 years old. He just turned 66. And he's bipolar. He has been before me. And I've been married to him for 22 years. And I have never seen him on the brink.
Wow, 22.
I know.
Congratulations.
But I've never seen him upside down. I've never seen him manic. I've never seen him. He's always really good about taking the medication on time, sleeping, and he meditates. Meditation's extremely important for him.
That's I have the OCD, the highly functioning OCD. My schedule has to be regimented. I mentioned on the last show that what got me in trouble was my A to Z mentality, where I would get an idea in my head that, man, I know where there's a lot of guns and money, and I'd go from that to Z and come back home with a lot of guns and money, never thinking about anything in between. And
consequences?
Nothing. No, I just knew how to do it, what to do, how to get it done quickly, how to get away with it. And that was the issue, was I was getting away with it for so long that I okey-doked myself. And, I guess I got cocky is another way to put it. Because I slipped. And when I slipped hard. And that was my first bid. And so I really have to remain exceptionally regimented. My schedule is every day is the same at the same time.
That's why my husband is absolutely every day. He drinks the same like Starbucks creamer. He goes to the gym 6 days a week. And I think that's the other change for him. Not change, but the thing that has kept him so stable is weightlifting and going to the gym 6 days a week for 46 years. I mean, it's been a long time. He's only been hospitalized once, and that was before me. So
good God, he's got to be the size of a friggin' mountain.
He's a big dude.
He's got to be. I mean, 46
His arm,
years.
he'll tell you, my arms are huge, Patty. He always like, Patty, look at my arms. They really are.
Man, I'd show them guns off to everybody. I'm telling you. That's amazing.
So someone's asking, what did you miss most when you were in the lockup? What did you miss most when you were incarcerated?
Oh, women.
That's like, it's really a no-brainer.
Women. After that, steak.
Women and steak.
It's really that simple. I mean, oh man. You there? There we go. Yeah, women, and then steak. I lean heavily towards female companionship rather than male companionship, which was the most torturous part of being in a male prison. Because you're sitting around smelling.
You're in Kevlar again. There you go.
And then just, and then listening to their endless stupid banter. Dudes are dumb. I mean, I hate to say it, man. Dudes are dumb. I just got a vasectomy a couple days ago.
I remember you were telling me.
Yeah, just to ensure that I didn't have any more dudes. I mean, I don't want to add to the problem, but the problem's guys. If anybody has been an advocate for a female president, it's me. If anything, a female dictator. Can we get that? Man, the only thing I worry about is like when you guys kind of go mental on your monthly, because sometimes it's worse for other women than others. I mean, I've been with several women, and some it doesn't affect them. Some it is the scariest crap I've ever seen in my life, and I just want to hide in a corner until it goes 6 days later. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine now. Okay, cool. I'm going to take off this bulletproof vest and, shoulder pads, helmet, and come back and snuggle with you.
How's your job going? You're still able to work and go to school? Are you able
to? Most definitely. But this semester I'm going back full time, getting back to taking 4 classes instead of.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Nice that you did it like kind of a little bit slow before.
Yeah, well, I had to this semester passed because of the statistics course, and I knew for a fact that I would not be able to handle the workload of 4 courses, and one of them being statistics, because that is a friggin' foreign language for me. I even ended up dropping it because I was going to flunk that SOB one way or another. Midterms were coming up. I was in my 4th week. Midterms was going to be on the 6th week, and I didn't have a chance. And I had a friggin' math tutor, retired math teacher, who would come over twice a week and explain this crap to me. And she looked at me one day and goes, "Calen, this is hard." And I said, oh shit. Poop. Yep. I said, yep. Okay. I'm calling my academic advisor. And sure enough, I did. And I said, listen, I understand that if I stay in the course, I'm getting an F. And by dropping,
I'm so scared now. I'm so scared because I've waited to take my math until the last semester, which is next.
I don't blame you.
I'm petrified.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Here's what she did.
Tutor me?
Man, you're asking the wrong guy. Yeah, I'll tutor you. I'll tutor you to get an F. I mean, here's what my academic advisor did for me.
Straight A's. I have 107. I didn't even know that you could get 107. So I'm not willing to fail at this, but I will drop and add later if I start to fail. I'm definitely
correct. And here's the beauty part, and here's how this worked out for me, because my academic advisor is the shiznit.
Oh, good.
What she did was, I was 22 days past the drop without penalty date, which would ensure, you drop it, you get an F, and you'll have to take the course over again. Somehow or another, I don't know if it was her decision, the dean's decision, the math department.
You're in Kevlar.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Huh?
There you go.
Better. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So, I don't know how she did it, but she was able to get that waived so I could graduate with my AA next semester, because I'm just 3 credits shy of attaining my AA and graduating magna cum laude.
That's exciting.
Yeah, magna cum laude, 3.9 right now. So I don't know how she did it, but she did it. And she adjusted my degree plan to where I have time to get familiar with Microsoft software, Excel.
Oh, yeah. Good luck. I hate it.
Yeah, things that I need to learn how to operate in order to do this class. And it was just unfortunate that statistics fell in my degree plan when it did, because it was completely at random. So what she did was back that SOB 2 years from now, okay, and made it the only class that I will take that one semester.
Oh, good. So you'll concentrate on that.
Exactly. I have plenty of time.
I'm so scared now.
Yeah. I would love to be the word of encouragement. Say, "Oh, you're gonna do fine."
Yeah, people are telling you, pace yourself. Congratulations. I hope you come back and watch and look at all the nice things everyone's saying.
Okay. Yeah, most definitely.
Like, you have so much. You probably can't see it where you are, but if you rewatch us, you can see all the amazing things that all of these hundreds of people are saying.
That's awesome.
Nice.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I can just log on to Patty's Playhouse and look at.
Well, I'll send you a link so you don't have to worry about it.
Thank you. Oh, that's awesome. Otherwise, I'll end up on
like some kind of social media secretary.
Yeah, because I need help. I just keep ending up on porn sites and cat videos.
Yeah, I see your Instagram. It's hilarious. I mean, what can you do? You know, you're a dude. You're a real dude. Like, you're not like a pseudo dude or a faux dude. You're a dude.
I love women. And don't get me wrong, my Instagram says that I only like women with huge breasts. That is not the case. I just like breasts, and women who have them, like not dudes with breasts. Women.
Dude, did you see that? I'm definitely off comment, and then I'll let you go. There was a reality show recently. I have to get the name of it, and they were like picking guys and girls, and the girl that they picked was a dude, and they didn't tell anybody. It was cruel. To me, that was cruel to do. It was cruel to do to the dudes, the real dudes, and it was cruel to do with a very beautiful, like female-like person. You look beautiful.
See, that's the gimmick. Like,
I think that's like such a cruel thing to do.
That's the thing. What if old boy, one of the cats, really starts developing feelings for her, and she's like, I have a confession to make. My name's Henry. And we're like,
or someone's Muslim. Can you imagine?
Oh my Lord. Yeah. When he finds out, Karen's name is Russell. Oh shit. I mean, all poop.
Frank.
Patty, yeah. God bless. Yeah, that is uncalled for.
It was a cruel thing to do. I don't watch those shows anymore, but it was really cruel. I got my own reality. I don't need to watch someone else's. But
sustained. What I've been doing lately is catching up on all the Saturday Night Live episodes that I missed while I was away. Yeah. So I mean, just keeping my mind off things. That and pirating the crap out of movies. I mean, that I missed. That's about it. During this break. Yeah. So that and
dude, Carter says, all I can imagine is an inmate getting on the phone all night and just watching cat videos the whole time.
Yeah, like if whenever I got a phone, like, you know, people would imagine like automatically dudes are just going to go to, you know, beating their thing like it owes them money. But it's really, you know, what they do is they'll get on Facebook and like talk to people or, you know, and make business deals. I was a cat video guy.
You were.
And I'm telling you, they call Cats and Metal, where they put funny cat videos to death metal.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, sorry, I lost you again. Yeah, Cats and Metal. And it's effing hilarious. They're so funny. And they're playing some really good music. You know, I have a very wide range of music that I like, and death metal happens to be one of them. But I also, you know, I listen to 70s funk, you know.
I do too. Well, 70s is mine. I was born in 67, so 70s is my music.
Dig it. You know, I'm just you know, anything like Bootsy Collins and George Clinton, Parliament.
George Clinton lives in our town. He lives in Tallahassee.
Oh wow, I've seen him twice. He played once with Fishbone, and he played once with the Voodoo Glow Skulls. And man, it was epic. We the first time I saw him, I was kind of scared because he came out in his cape and his hood.
Yeah.
And there's always been those rumors.
It's always a gimmick, like his hair, the dreads. It's a wig.
Yeah,
it's dread,
yeah. Well, they say, you know, like there's an impersonator who will come out and lip sync, you know, George Clinton songs, and he looks just like him. But when and for the first 3 songs, he played with that hood and that cape on, but he was playing in downtown St. Pete in the middle of summer, so he took that SOB off quick. And when he did, we could tell. I mean, you looked at me like, that is George Clinton.
Well, he's about 80 now. I mean, you can really tell it's George Clinton because he always has, like, this is side topics too. He always has like 20-year-old girls with him.
Yeah, yeah, and he's always got the slide trombone player with the diapers on, and the whole ensemble is just at their technical best.
He's just so amazing. I just love him so much. He just played Word of the South here in Tallahassee. Just played.
That is awesome. I'm glad he's still kicking it because I
was with my previous real estate brokerage. He was buying a house or selling a house, and he came in.
George
and everyone over 30 knew who he was. Like, it was a big deal.
Yeah, because he's a man. He brings the funk. He brings the funk. The whole funk and nothing but the funk. Oh my Lord!
I know, it's so fun. It's so fun.
Yeah, he's fantastic. And I'm telling you, one of the funnest concerts I saw was the first time I saw him with Fishbone. And man, and then I've seen him 3 times. I caught him with Bad Brains, and that show was epic. So yeah.
I think people are thinking we're talking about the president. So because not everyone's from the United States. So I'm gonna show you all real quick, and then I'm gonna let him go and tell you who we're talking about, because it is not the president of the United States.
Oh dear, you froze, hon.
It's George Clinton. He got the funk. That's George. Sam.
Where'd we go? There we go. Yeah.
There he is. Like, George Clinton is like.
That's not Bill Clinton.
No.
Yeah. He did not have sexual relations with that trombone.
That is George Clinton.
That's that dude.
So Miss Wee, she lives in Scotland, and she's like, "Oh, I remember the president." And I'm like, no.
Bless her heart. Yeah, that is not the president.
That is not him.
I wish he was.
It's the funk. F-U-N-K, funk.
I'm telling you, he'd institute the funk, the policy of funk. Yeah, the funk policy that would change the United States.
Well, thank you for being on with me again. But we will. Always. We should make arrangements especially over the summer, and have you just listened to these calls, dude. You cannot even imagine.
Yeah,
but I'm going to send them to you first,
that'd
so
be hilarious.
that you can. Some of them I might not. Some of them might want to see your genuine reaction because they're so insane that you would know that any human knows they're being recorded.
See that when you get on that phone, it says all calls are being recorded. And do you think they're? I mean, you think they're BSing you? Like when they say, "Hey, inmate, if you don't, get butt naked right now and show me your butthole, I'm gonna punch you in the face." You think they're messing with you? Think they're just what? They're goofing you? I'm just kidding. No,
just
you're gonna you're gonna get drilled in the face, and then they'll put hands on you in a heartbeat. So, what a genuine ignorant person.
Yeah, we'll do a reaction show because that would be blessed. Like that is blessed. That is a huge.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Someone just said, Judy says, that her son served a short time at Northwest Florida Reception. He's since passed away.
Washington.
But your stories give her joy.
Oh, I'm so sorry. He didn't. Did he pass on the inside? Did she say? Yeah, that's Washington.
She hasn't said yet.
Yeah, that's a big compound.
She said a short term, so I'm thinking not. I'm thinking it invest. But she still, she lost her son. But you're giving her joy because you're successful. Like that's a big deal.
Well, you know what? I'm trying this time. I mean,
all you do is one day at a time, dude. One day at a time.
And I'm telling you, I have to baby step. If I over jump, or go from 0 to 60, like we talked about earlier, that's the kind of stuff that happens.
Well, you have my number, you have my Facebook, you have my Instagram.
Yes, ma'am.
You can reach me anytime you want, and we'll either laugh it off or do something else to solve the problem. But don't. Yeah,
definitely.
We don't want you to go back on the inside. We want you to be like this Callen, not the other Callen. Neither does your mom. Like your mom doesn't either.
Yeah, most assuredly. And it's not. It's bittersweet because when I was getting away with all the crap I was doing, I felt 10 foot tall. And then when I realized all the crap I was doing, I felt about 2 inches tall because I was a bad person.
When you calmed down and realized it.
Yeah. Well, most definitely. And when this last bid, we got locked down for COVID for damn near 2 years, and all you had to do was think. That was it. And man, I delved very deep into my head, and it was not fun. People ask me a lot of times, which was your harder bid, the first one or the second one? And the first one was pure violence. It was, there rarely was times that I wasn't getting into it with somebody or getting beaten to the ground. And then the second one was, I only got into 3 altercations, and they were of no issue. The head trip it hurt. It really hurt. Things would pop into my head that I forgot that I had done. And then it was hard. Just sitting there, because you can only sleep so much. You know what I mean? So when you're locked down, you can only talk to your bunkie so much. I don't care how personable or how well you get along. Eventually, when you're locked behind a door with somebody for months at a time, you'll hate them, and you'll hate the sound of their voice. And you have to roll over from the top bunk and be like, "Hey, Teddy, listen, if you say another word, I'm going to break your face. I love you to death. I am. But you just got
Charlie like that.
Yeah. Just please shut up."
Well, they say you're part of our gang now, so you have to stay on the outside so you can stay in the gang. We have our own gang.
Yeah, I gotta stay. Well, that's the thing. I'm not part of a gang or anything like that. I'm just, I got loose affiliation.
It's like the gang. It's just like a clique.
Yeah, see, that's a gimmick. I gotta lose affiliations of people, that have horrible reputations because of their belief structures, and if it would take time to explain every individual's story and what created them and what established their foundation, of what they believe in, and they truly believe it, and they'll die for it. They'll die for it, and you cannot help but respect somebody who will die for what they believe in, even if it's completely obscure and just out of the stupid, out of this world. But I mean, wow, we're talking about dedication, and there's some dedicated cats in there, and if it wasn't for a lot of them, and taking me under their wing as an associate, as a an affiliate, but not an actual member, that first bid, I mean, that first bid 4 months before I left, I mean, they tried to kill me. I mean, it wasn't no joke. They dropped that locker on my head. They tried to effing kill me. And
do you have a pet? Do you have an animal?
No, I got my mom's dog. my stepdad's dog, Cooper. He's half he's half Chihuahua, half Beagle, and he has the head of a Chihuahua, and then everything else about him is a Beagle. Everything is bark.
You gotta take a picture of it.
I'll send you one. He's 9 months old. He is smart as a whip. This dog will do whatever you tell him to do. You just got to work with him, and that's.
We're telling you to get a cat. Everyone's like, get a cat.
I'm a cat person.
You are?
I'm a cat person. Yeah, most definitely. And the funny thing is, I've only owned female animals. I've only owned one dog, and she was a female. And I don't like to talk about that because I lost her during my first bid, and she was my heart. That one there, no.
They're so loyal.
God, loyal and word. Yeah. But so this is the first male animal I've worked with, and I'm like, you're gonna be a stubborn mother. And lo and behold, this guy is so responsive. He's a sponge. He loves to learn. He loves structure. He's very, very well-minded, and I enjoy working with him quite a bit. But he stays over at my mom and dad's house. I can't have a cat, unfortunately, in here because all my furniture is leather.
Oh yeah, I would lose it.
They'll shred the living. And I love.
Yeah, you have a nice place. You do have a nice place. It's nice.
I love it. I love it. It's a good transition. I come home, and on the side of this MFR, it says Reflection. That's the name of the damn brand. It's it's Reflection. Oh, cool, because I haven't done enough of that. So, and then I get in there, and it's it's a travel trailer, so it's enclosed space. Yeah. So I feel real comfortable. I mean, I feel really comfortable. I've got everything where it needs to be, which is why I'm on Xanax, because I got social anxiety like a mother. So what I mean.
Apparently, yeah. Makes sense though when you think about it.
Yeah, when I get out there, and especially my Pookie, my best friend Pookie, she warned me. She said straight up, "Listen, Calen, I know you, and when you get out, you're gonna find that Southern hospitality and manners have gone out the effing window."
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay.
COVID killed it.
Yep. And lo and behold, my first day out, my mom okey dokes me and sits there and goes, "Hey, you want to help me go shopping in Publix?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And so we're going down the aisles, and I'm like, "Excuse me." People just pass by, and I'm like,
"Why'd you look at me like
me?" Yeah, excuse me is what I said to you.
My phone just went off like it was. I'd heard you, Siri.
Hey Siri, What color are your panties? Yeah. So she never tells me anyway. Yeah. But yeah, whenever you're ready to schedule
We
schedule
will. I'll message
yeah.
you on Insta. But thank you
Yeah.
so much. I
No
gotta
problem.
go. You gotta
Okay.
go. Did you eat?
Yeah.
You gotta go eat.
No, I'm full. I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah. I had
didn't
a
interrupt your
salad.
dinner.
Oh, absolutely not. I had a salad. A nice Caesar salad. Had croutons. Some onion.
Nice.
Yeah, it was lovely. It's actually really, it was filling, yet not overfilling. It didn't sit in my stomach like a
Good.
cement brick. Yeah. So I'm trying to watch my figure.
Me too, Calen. We'll talk about that too. We're talking
All right,
about our
sugar.
diet. We have the Patty and Calen show coming
No
up.
problem. All right, so I'll
Bye,
start
dear.
writing down. Yeah, I'll start writing down ramen noodle recipes for you. All right. All right. Bye.
That would be awesome.
All right.
Take care, dear. Bye.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Be safe.